The humming of the emergency systems was the first thing to pierce the fog in Alex's mind. He unbuckled himself, his body aching, and stumbled out of the wreckage of his ship, the Odyssey Asterisk. The air was thin, cold, and carried a strange, sweet scent, like ozone and night-blooming flowers. He was stranded. The sky above was a permanent, breathtaking twilight, studded with unfamiliar constellations and twin moons hanging like silver ornaments. The landscape was a surreal dream of glowing flora and crystalline structures that pulsed with a soft internal light. Before he could even begin to process his predicament, figures emerged from the shimmering forests. They were tall, slender, and moved with a silent grace that was both beautiful and unnerving. Their skin was the color of a pale evening sky, and their large dark eyes regarded him with an unreadable mix of curiosity and caution. They were armed with lances that crackled with faint energy. Outnumbered and unarmed, Alex raised his hands in a universal gesture of peace. The guards surrounded him, their movements fluid and coordinated, and led him through the glowing woods toward a city that rose from the ground like a mountain of polished obsidian and light. He was brought into a vast chamber, the ceiling so high it seemed to touch the twilight sky. Seated on a throne carved from a single luminous crystal was their leader. She was regal, her features sharp and intelligent, her pale blue skin seeming to absorb the soft light of the room. A cascade of silver hair fell over her shoulders, and a simple circlet adorned her brow. This was Queen Lyra. She addressed him not with words, but with thoughts that bloomed directly in his mind, a gentle but powerful telepathy. She knew his name, Alex. She had seen his ship fall from the heavens like a wounded star. She asked why he had come. Alex, struggling to adapt to this silent form of communication, explained his mission. A long-range exploration that had gone terribly wrong after an asteroid collision. He was a scientist, an astronaut, not a conqueror. Queen Lyra listened, her expression unchanging, but her mental voice laced with a deep, ancient sorrow. She then showed him why her people, the Luminians, were so cautious. She projected images into his mind, not of war or threat, but of a slow, creeping death. He saw their star, a once brilliant sun, now a dying red dwarf, sputtering and weak. He saw the planet's surface, once lush and warm, now encased in encroaching ice sheets that advanced with each passing cycle. The beautiful twilight he had admired was not a choice, but a curse, the last fading light of a dying world. The Luminians were an incredibly advanced civilization. Their city was powered by geothermal energy and complex crystal lattice. Their knowledge of biology and telepathy far surpassed humanity's, yet they were powerless against the inexorable death of their star. Their technology could sustain them, but it couldn't reverse the planetary deep freeze. They were slowly, gracefully, going extinct. Queen Lyra confessed her desperation. For generations, they had sought a solution. They had tried to harness cosmic rays, to build great reflectors in orbit, but nothing could replace the energy of a healthy star. Their own sun was too far gone to reignite. Hope was a dwindling resource, as precious as the warmth they were losing. She looked at Alex, a stranger from a world of bright sunshine, and in her mind, he felt a flicker of a question, a final, desperate gamble. Could he, this child of a different star, see something they had missed? Alex, a man of science and an eternal optimist, felt a surge of purpose. He wasn't just a castaway anymore, he was a potential savior. He requested access to their geological and astronomical data, their labs, their brightest minds. Queen Lyra agreed without hesitation. The Luminians, for all their advanced knowledge, had evolved with their dying star. Their science was focused inward, on biology and psychic energy. They had never developed the kind of brute force astrophysics that humanity, with its own history of facing existential threats, had been forced to explore. Alex spent weeks, which on this planet were measured in cycles of dim light and dimmer dark, poring over their data. He worked side by side with Luminian scientists, their telepathic collaboration, a dizzying, incredibly efficient exchange of ideas. They showed him their power systems, intricate networks that drew energy from the planet's core, and that's where Alex found it. A discrepancy, an anomaly in the deep core readings. The Luminians had a dormant planetary core. Millennia ago, their planet had been geologically active, but it had settled into a stable, quiet state. They drew gentle heat from it, but they had never considered it a source of immense power. To Alex, it looked like a sleeping giant. His human mind, accustomed to thinking in terms of raw power and explosive force, saw an opportunity. He proposed a plan so audacious, so dangerous, that the Luminians were stunned into silence. He wanted to reignite the planet's core, using a modified version of his own ship's fusion reactor. Combined with Luminian's energy-focusing crystal technology, they could drill a shaft to the planet's mantle and deliver a concentrated blast of energy, a planetary defibrillator. It was their one and only shot. If they miscalculated, they could shatter the planet. If they didn't provide enough energy, it would be wasted, and the core would remain dormant. The risk was astronomical, but the alternative was a slow, certain extinction. Queen Lyra looked at her scientists, then at Alex. She saw the fire in his eyes, the conviction in his thoughts. It was a spark of the very thing her world lacked: raw, untamed, sun-like energy. For the first time in a long time, she felt a glimmer of real hope. She gave the order to proceed. The entire civilization mobilized. The city hummed with a new kind of energy, not of quiet sustenance, but of frantic, focused creation. The day of the attempt arrived. Alex stood in the main control chamber with Queen Lyra and her lead scientists. On a massive holographic display, they watched the progress of the drill, a beam of pure energy lancing down through the planet's crust. The chamber was silent, the only communication the focused stream of consciousness between the team. Deeper and deeper the beam went. The ground beneath their feet began to tremble, a low rumble that grew into a steady vibration. It was a feeling no living Luminian had ever experienced. The planet was waking up. The drill reached the target depth. Alex gave the final command, his thought a sharp, clear signal. Now a wave of energy, a fusion of human and Luminian technology, surged down the shaft. The planet groaned. The tremors intensified violently, and for a terrifying moment, Alex feared they had made a fatal error. The crystals in the city flickered, and the lights dimmed. Then, as quickly as it began, the shaking subsided. A new, deeper hum resonated through the very rock of the world, the steady, powerful heartbeat of a living, active core. Slowly, warmth began to seep up from the ground. Outside, the ice sheets at the edge of the continent began to steam. But the true miracle was happening in the sky. As the planet's revitalized magnetic field interacted with its atmosphere and the faint light of its star, something incredible occurred. The perpetual twilight began to brighten. Hues of pink and orange, colors unseen for generations, painted the eastern horizon. Then, for the first time in millennia, a true dawn broke over the Luminian world. The people came out of their crystalline homes, their large eyes wide with awe, looking at the rising light. Children who had only known shades of gray and blue saw a golden sunrise for the very first time. A rare emotional display for the stoic Luminians streamed down their faces. Alex stood on a high balcony with Queen Lyra, the newfound warmth on his skin. She turned to him, and for the first time, she spoke aloud, her voice a soft melodic chime. "You have given us back our son." He looked out at the city bathed in golden light, at a civilization given a second chance, and knew he had found a new home among the stars. The journey of the Odyssey was over, but a new, brighter one was just beginning. Thank you for watching this story unfold. If you enjoyed this journey to a world of twilight and dawn, please hit that like button and subscribe for more adventures from across the galaxy. Let us know in the comments what kind of sci-fi world you'd like to explore next. Till then, keep looking up.